Hey guys, this video is going to go over turning a repeating decimal into a fraction, and I'm going to show you a couple shortcut ways to do this. Now, while you watch this video, you will need a calculator, so please make sure you have one ready to use while you're taking notes. Okay, let's check out this number. It's 0.242424. I can easily see that the 2 and the 4 are repeating, so I can rewrite that as a repeating decimal as 0.24 repeating. All right, now a quick easy way to change this to a fraction is I'm going to look at how many place values are repeating. So just as a refresher, this is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place. Okay, so I have up to the hundredths place is repeating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 24, that's what's repeating, and I'm going to put it over a number that is one less than what place I'm in. So I'm in the hundredths place right now, so one less than that is 99. And that's going to be the fraction for 0.24 repeating. Now, you should try to simplify this if you can. I know that 3 goes into both of these, so I'm just going to simplify it. 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 99 divided by 3 is 33. All right, so 0.24 repeating, the fraction for that is 8 over 33. Or you could say 24 over 99. They're equivalent. Okay, now you should always test to see if this is correct. So you're going to grab your calculator. And remember, when we try to type this in, you're going to do 8 and then divided by 33. So go ahead, type that in. 8 divided by 33. If you look at your calculator screen, you should get 0.242424, etc. So I am done with that one. Okay, let's take a look at this one. I have 0.555555, so I'm going to rewrite it as 0.5 repeating. All right, so now I'm going to look and see what place value this 5 is in. It's in the tenths place value. So I'm going to take 5, because that's what is repeating. I'm going to go 1 less than 10, which is 9. So my fraction for 0.5 repeating is 5/9. Okay, so now we're going to test that out. So I'm going to type in on my calculator, and I want you guys to do this too, 5 divided by 9. Okay, when you type that in, you might see on your calculator 0.555555, and then at the end you might see a 6. Okay, now some calculators do this because they can't fit a million fives, because 0.5 repeating goes on forever. So they round it because you can't keep fitting numbers on your calculator. That 6 isn't really there. They just rounded it up. Okay, so this is really correct, 0.55555. It matches up with our original problem, so we did that one correctly. All right, our next one, we have 0.723723, and then so on. So if I take a look at it, 0.723723, that's what's repeating. So I'm going to write 0.723 with my line over all 3 digits. All right, now I'm going to look what place it ends in. It's the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So it's the thousandths place. So when I write my answer, the 723 repeats, and then 1 less than 1,000 is 999. So this is my fraction. Okay, again, you should always check it to make sure you did this correctly, especially on a test. So go ahead on your calculator, type in 723, and then you hit divided by 999. Okay, and if you look at your calculator, it might say 723, 723, 7237, and so on. So I did that one correctly. All right, our next one, this time we have a whole number out front and then 0.7777 repeating. Okay, so another way to write that is with your 1 and then the 7 is repeating. All right, when you try to turn this into a fraction, you just keep the 1, that's going to be your whole number, and then we'll try to write our fraction. So it's 7 over, this is in the tenth spot, so 1 less than 10 is 9. So my fraction is 1 7/9. Now you can convert that to an improper fraction. Remember to do that. You can do 9 times 1, which is 9, and then you can add the top, which is 7, and you get 16 over 9. So both of these answers are equivalent. Now, to test this out, I'll show you 2 ways to test it out. You can test and do 16 divided by 9. Okay, if I type that in, 16 divided by 9, my calculator says 1.7777. Again, it might say 8 on the end, but it's just because it rounded. Okay, that's one way to test it. Now, if we wanted to test this part, 1 7/9, okay, that 1 stays, so it's just 1 point, and then do 7 divided by 9, and you'll still get that 0.7777. All right, so I did that one correctly. So 2 different ways you could write that one. All right, so all the examples I did looked pretty similar. Now, the trick that I just showed you does not work if it looks like this, 0.3 and then 44444, because if you write that out, it's 0.3 and just the 4 is repeating. The trick that I just showed you does not work for that. I'm going to show you a different way to do ones that look like this. All right, let's take a look at this problem. It's 0.2 and then 3 is repeating. So I'm going to rewrite that as 0.23 and the 3 is repeating. All right, now I do not want this to, I only want to work with that repeating part that is the 3. So I'm just going to move this decimal over one spot, and we'll kind of take care of undoing that later at the end. So really it's going to look like 2.3 repeating, and now I'm going to rewrite that like I learned how to do on the other page. That's the same as 2 and 3. Okay, if I look at this part, it's 1 digits, or the 10th spot, so 1 less than that is 9. Okay, so I'm going to write 2 and 3 ninths. All right, my next step is I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. So 9 times 2 is 18, and then I'm going to add 3 at the top. So 18 plus 3 ends up being 21 over 9. All right, now the trick for these ones is because you move the decimal one spot here, that's like multiplying by 10, I'm going to have to move this bottom down here, I'm going to have to times that by 10 because I moved it one spot. So if I do that, I end up with 21 over 90. Okay, let's grab our calculator and let's type in 21 divided by 90. Okay, I end up with, when I type that in, 0.2 and then 3 is repeating. So I did this correctly. My fraction for this problem up here is 21 over 90. All right, let me show you another one. So this one I have 0.34 and then 555 repeating. So I'm going to rewrite it as 0.34 and then the 5 is repeating. All right, now I want to just get it so the 5 part is the repeating part. So I'm going to move the decimal over 2 spots right here. So now it says 34.5 repeating. Okay, I'm going to change that to a fraction. So I'm going to do 34 and 5. Okay, if I look at this number, it's in the 10th spot. So I'm going to do 1 less than that, which is 9. Okay, now I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to change this to an improper fraction. So I'm going to do 9 times 34, which is 306, and then add 5, which ends up being 311 over 9. Okay, now my next step is I move the decimal 2 spots over here, so I'm going to times this down here. It was 2 spots, so it's going to be a power of 10. I'm going to times by 100. It was 2 spots that I moved it over. Okay, so my final answer is going to be 311 over 900. Okay, let's test that out. Grab your calculator and let's do 311 divided by 900. It ends up being exactly what our calculator, or the starting problem said. So my answer for that fraction is 311 over 900. Okay, let's try another one. So I see 2.3 and the 7 is repeating. Okay, and our issue is that there's a number before the repeating begins. There's this 3 before that starts. So let's go ahead and move the decimal over 1 spot. So now it's going to say 23.7 repeating. All right, now we're going to rewrite that as a fraction. 23 and 7 over, now this is in the 10th spot, so 1 less than that is 9. Okay, next step, we're going to change it to an improper fraction. So I'm going to do 23 times 9. I'm typing this in on my calculator, and then add 7, which equals 214 over 9. Okay, now I had moved the decimal over just 1 spot, so I'm going to times by 10. So I get 214 over 90. And now I'm going to confirm that I did this correctly, I'm going to divide that out, 214 divided by 90, and I end up with 2.377777. Your calculator might say 8, but it's just rounding. So I know I did that one correctly. All right, let's try one more. Okay, so this one, it looks like it says 423, 5454. Here's my repeating part. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. So it's the same as 0.423, and then the 54 is what's repeating. All right, now this time, I want to get just the repeating part by itself, remember? Oops. Okay, so I am going to move the decimal over 1, 2, 3 spots. So it's going to end up being 423.54 repeating. Okay, now let's change it to a fraction. So I'm going to have 423 and 54 over, if you guys look at this, this is the 10th hundredth spot. So I'm going to write it over 99. Okay, now here's where you definitely need a calculator on a problem like this. So I'm going to type in 99 times 423. And then I'm going to add the 54 from the top. And I end up with 41931. Okay, and over 99, because that's what it was. Okay, now when I originally did this problem, I moved my decimal over 1, 2, 3 spots. Okay, so I'm going to times by 1,000 on the bottom. Okay, and again, I did that because it's a power of 10, so that'd be 10, 100, 1,000. So I times by 1,000, so 99 times 1,000 is 99,000, so my final fraction is 41,931 over 99,000. Okay, now just to confirm, let's type that in. 41931 divided by 99,000. And I end up with 0.423545454. So this would be my correct answer. Now, I'm probably able to simplify this. There's probably some number that goes into both of those, but we're okay with you leaving it like this. All right, if you are still confused on this, please check in with your teacher and they can do a few more examples with you.